Dr. Amy Tan is with me in Calgary. A day off, a rare day off, Dr. Tan, in the middle of your heroic work on the front lines of this pandemic. It's really lovely to have you on our program, and good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What are you reflecting on today, Dr. Tan?
I'm reflecting on the fact that, I'm a proud Canadian, and I feel like on this July 1st, which is like unlike any July 1st I've experienced, that we are at a bit of a turning point, perhaps, that COVID-19 has really laid bare that we have some things that we can work forward to actually help make sure our marginalized populations really get the care that they need as Canadians.
What do you think it has exposed?
I think it's exposed, how much our essential workers in our society are essential, that they perhaps have been hidden for the most part. And a lot of our essential workers are migrant workers or racialized communities, and they have taken the brunt of COVID-19 in Canada and continue to. And we need to perhaps take a look at how we can better protect them and make sure that all people in Canadian society are getting the same advantages and care that make our country so great. Concretely,
are there changes that what you have seen from dealing with those people, from seeing them in your practice, I would imagine, that you want to see brought forward right now?
Yes, I would like to see, a conversation about worker safety, conditions, how to actually give these patients a feeling that they have a voice, that they can advocate for themselves and their community and not fear things like immigration status or, fear of income, and be able to take sick leave and not lose their job. So really, fundamental security is something that I think this pandemic has shown. We need to make sure that all of the people in our society that we depend on actually have those basic securities.
I want to ask you personally, we've reported on this program on numerous occasions about the spike in anti-Asian racism in Canada as a result of COVID-19 and people blaming people of Asian descent for COVID-19. What did you experience?
Yeah, so I have experienced the discourse of early on in the pandemic. There was, a lot of conversations about how this was perhaps the blame of the Chinese government, but also it then led to Chinese people. And so in conversations with both patients and peers and colleagues, that was the discourse that was happening. And it was uncomfortable. And it continues to be something that I think is part of that. I'm a racialized Canadian. I look like I, am from the country that this originated from. This virus is causing a lot of pain, and I understand that. But really trying to educate that we as Canadians, as Chinese Canadians, East Asians, that we are not to blame and to not allow that type of behavior to continue.
How did that experience, how did it make you feel about yourself, your country, and your place in it?
Yeah, so it actually goes back to my parents. They immigrated here 50 years ago, and they disclosed to me that for the first time in 50 years, they're actually concerned about their personal safety in Vancouver. And so as a daughter, as somebody who's benefited from their immigrating to Canada, me being a Canadian, being born here, it really hurt me, but also affected me as a physician, knowing that this type of fear is so real for everyday East Asian Canadians. So it really is something that is, I've never had to really on a daily basis with regards to race and racial relations in my daily practice until recently.
That is, it's sobering to hear you say that. I'm wondering how you're going to answer this question then, because we've been concluding all of our conversations with asking our guests to complete the sentence. Being Canadian in 2020 means. Dr. Tan.
So being Canadian in 2020 means that I think that we have a great country and we have shown our strength through adversity, especially during this pandemic. And as Canadians, I would like us all to band together, to work together to ensure that we all actually look at all of our populations, make sure we take care of each and every one of us, because this pandemic has shown that we really are all interconnected.
Dr. Amy Tan, thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.